So I recently bought this Versus Mode map, and it gives me trauma. Why? Well, this map is a bonus map in Days of Ruins campaign mode, and the S-rank speed limit is 50 turns. That should tell you something. Welcome back to Reboot Camp. We got through Max's introductory mission last time, the Max version of Max Strikes. And okay, it looks like the Andy version has disappeared now.
Grit, where are you?
Right here, boss.
That "Grit, where are you" kind of sums up Olaf's entire lot in life.
Indeed.
Great.
Well, you, for once, do know better. Grit rarely does take things seriously, and when he does, bad things happen. So our next mission is Sniper. Now, weird thing is, I'm actually not very familiar with this route. I was actually intending to do the Andy route first, but then I thought it might make more sense to show off the new character. So yeah, Grit's troops lay low in the fog of war waiting for their shot. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with a whole lot of indirect ambushes in a fog map. Okay, this is actually new. Previously, you were only allowed to use Max in this mission. I mean, by previously, I mean in the original GBA version. There is actually some merit to picking Andy here, because you do start with a couple of indirects, and Hyper Repair can be useful on a map where there are no bases to make new units. But I want to use Max for this just because Max versus Grit is kind of a classic matchup since they're exact opposites.
Hey!
But it is cool they let you choose your character though. Unfortunately, yeah, the one issue, well, there are a few issues I have with Advance Wars 1's campaign. I still overall think it's quite good, and I have a bias towards Black Hole Rising because I started with that. But,
Commander!
yeah. One of my issues with Advance Wars 1's campaign is there is not a very large set of playable characters. Spoilers, there is only 3, so there's only really one new one that we'll have to see from now on. I mean, Andy, Max, and Sammy are all good except for Andy, but Advance Wars 2 has a lot more variety in terms of who's playable. Andy. Please tell me you're joking is like everyone's classic reaction to Andy. So, the reason why this conversation plays out this way is that originally, Andy was not part of field training and was not part of the Fog of War tutorial mission, so this legitimately would have been his first encounter with the mechanic. On the Andy route of Max Strikes, you actually encounter Fog of War a little later. And recon units are actually quite good with Max because they're direct combat units, which means he gets his stupidly broken firepower bonus. Yeah, leapfrogging from woodland to woodland is our game here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the enemy is going to be doing that too. Yeah, I do like this take on Max's theme. So this map is basically a death run through these mountains up to the enemy's HQ. Our non-flying vehicles are basically stuck bottlenecked through this path, and as you can probably tell, Grit has a lot of indirects here. Now these two battlecopters are going to be mostly safe heading straight south because I have looked at a fogless version of this map, and Grit does have missiles, but they are here and up here. So if you want to route this map, you actually have to keep your coppers alive, otherwise you can't destroy the rocket and missile that are up here. Gotta watch out for them when he uses his power too, because they'll be able to snipe air units from a very, very long way. There is also an anti-air close to the HQ, but that's really the only danger that the copters have to deal with, so as long as we keep them, like, low down here, they should be mostly fine. I'm going to embark both of these guys into transport vehicles, because, you know, they're the mechs, it's kind of their job to get transported. Okay, now I do believe, yep, there is an infantry there, and I want to, yeah, I would have been able to hit that infantry with the rocket if I wasn't Max, but I want to take out that infantry, because if I don't, then it is potentially threatening the HQ, and I really obviously don't want that. Yeah, both recons and tanks deal kind of equivalent damage here, but you know what, I kind of want to hive my medium tank. Remember that your units in woods will not be hidden if there is an enemy adjacent to them, so I need to kill this infantry in order to keep my guys hidden. And I do know, I think there is a rocket there. So my question is, can I actually scout that rocket this turn? I don't think I actually can. Because that's going to be problematic if he can see us. One kind of amusing thing about the way this kind of Death Run map plays out, yep, there's an artillery over there, is that, Grid is going to be getting a little bit of karma for this later on. Let's just say that in Advance Wars 2, Grid himself has to go through a very similar map, to this one. So, again, karma. So, like, the missile's, like, somewhere around there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It shouldn't be able to shoot my copters from around there. My copters can't scan out the rocket, so if the copters are exposed to a rocket unit, it's fine. And just seriously, look at this. Max Battlecopter pretty much one-shotting an artillery. Like, just... Max is disgusting, as usual, but I've got to be careful because, again, if Grid gets his power before I'm ready for it, those missiles may be able to hit my copters from way too far away, for my liking. Max. I'll probably be saying that a lot, but yeah, Max is kind of easy mode in this game. He's sort of meant to be like the easy mode character that you choose, but right, this artillery is gonna be, yeah, there's no real reason not to put him on the rear. Yeah, gotta not cancel my moves too much, because Fog of War... Okay, the APC does need to be cautious, because the rocket can potentially shoot the APs. Okay, I could have scouted the rocket if I put the transport there and then dropped the mech there. That's good to know, but I don't think anything I have would have been able to hit the rocket. But I would have been able to attack the rocket. Like, okay, like this is entirely implying that rockets, that I know the rocket is already there, which is technically cheating anyway. Speaking of rockets, though, this rocket up here is a problem, especially since it's starting out on a plane. I don't really want to get my rocket hit by his rocket, so I'm going to just do this. Yeah, Max was actually somebody that I didn't really like his theme in the original. Okay, he's got a recon here. Now, something I should say regarding recons and Fog of War, from what I've heard of this game, no, I was hoping I could actually scout with the rocket, scout with the artillery, because it's pretty much all it's good for, with Max. You know what, if I do this, I can drop this mech here and get some mountain vision, and that scouts out the rocket down there. That gets one shot. Okay, my recon can't actually go for that there. I don't like my tank, like this is Max, and I like Max's tanks to be on the front lines, but I do need to get rid of this rocket lest it become a problem later. But I've also got to be careful because one-shotting rockets is not healthy for Grit's power meter, or should I say it's not healthy for my own units. Yep, he almost has snipe attack, and he's probably going to get it this turn, which means my copters need to be really careful, because this missile is suddenly going to be a very, very big deal in a hurry. Like, depending on exactly where that missile is, I may be able to get away with the copter attacking that recon, but... Here's the million-dollar question. I know there are more artillery out there. which is the thing. I can't really afford to lose these copters. In fact, this is actually a dangerous move in Fog because I'm running through 2 forests, which means I can potentially get trapped. Did not get trapped. Good. But yeah, being cautious with these copters because I really don't want to have them on anywhere that is potentially missileable. It also probably should be like, here's the thing, if that recon runs up there and does that, the recon is gonna die because I'm almost positive there's like something around here that will be able to fire all the way over these mountains thanks to snipe attack. And I do need to keep my recons alive because otherwise I have, my vision is gonna be pretty bad. Tanks have okay vision though. Okay, is that city of, like, I don't know if that's the unique Blue Moon city design. It actually might be since we're technically in Blue Moon territory right now. I mean, I feel like this is meant to be, like, territory that they took from Orange Star, hence why we're invading it now, where before we were pushing their invasions out, now we're trying to reclaim the land that they took. This is, like, what this leg of the campaign is. Okay, then. I'm gonna try and drop off this mech in this forest. Ah, he didn't have anything down there. And again, yeah, gotta be a little careful of my recons right now. Yeah, see, I feel like... Okay, I'm gonna do this. This could cost me. I don't know exactly where that missile is. I just know the general area. I like look at the map once, but like before I start, and then I want to try and take things my own way for the rest of it. Yeah, he definitely has snipe attack. It'd be really, really funny if he shot my rocket from here. Oh, he's not using it. Oh, that's smart. He's not using it. Okay, that's interesting. I was not expecting him to do that. Right, that changes things a lot. Yeah, he must only use it if he has, indirects in range, which means I need to be a little bit more proactive with scouting. Well, I guess I know where the missile is now. Oh, and the anti-air is advancing forwards. That's good to know. But we also have a rocket back there. However, now I can easily tell where he can shoot when he uses snipe attack, which is all the way up to that mountain. And this anti-air can go... Aha! It's not quite covering that rocket. Well, from below. But I should be able to do this. My controller's actually going a little bit wonky. I specifically bought a wireless controller just for this playthrough because my actual Joy-Cons are suffering from very, very bad drift right now. But... Oh yeah, that recon unfortunately is gonna die. I am so sorry, recon, but that's kinda gonna happen right now, unless I give them something else to fire at, but I doubt I can do that right now. If you position copters just right, you can potentially hit this missile within its minimum range. However, this copter is pretty much entirely zoned out now. That's pretty much the way that missiles are meant to be used. They're meant to zone out air units. So... the problem is, if this anti-air is smart and actually goes backwards, my 2 copters are going to have to go away. But the cool thing about these mountains here is I was saying before that air units do really like mountains because they can just dart back over the mountains if the anti-air tries to approach them. I'm not going to unload the infantry for that reason. Also, yeah, transport copters only have 1 vision. But yeah, actually something that I was kind of discussing before that I never really got the chance to finish saying was that apparently the AI doesn't cheat with Fog of War in this version. In the original GBA games, the AI absolutely cheated in Fog of War. It's, again, that was my controller going a little bit weird. I may need to charge this, I think. Yeah, the AI absolutely cheated. They could see the entire map. They had full vision to everything, which was generally a very, very, like, it was kind of dumb. It probably shouldn't have been the case. Dual Strike, I think, was the first Advance Wars game to change that. Oh yeah, that was my plan. My plan was to... problem. I need this recon for vision. In fact, I am gonna actually... I don't think this recon is gonna die to that rocket if I put it there, but I want to keep my medium tank hidden for the moment. And these guys are gonna... I think eventually I will unload this infantry into these mountains too, and just try and see if I can advance on the HQ while the rest of his army is distracted, like in the middle here. I might be able to win this before I march all the way down the road. That's kind of how I felt like this map was going to go. Like I said, sort of a death run, but, is he going to do it?
You can't hide.
Yep, he's doing it. He's doing it. I mimic his accent for a second.
Snipe attack.
It shows how much I get into this, I guess. Although now I'm just thinking of that character in, what was it, Arc-Rise Fantasia? Can't hide from my sniping! It's funny, because that guy has, like, by far the worst voice acting in the game, and he, spoilers, heroically sacrifices himself later on, and it's really hard to take seriously, because you're kind of just happy that his voice is gone. So, and in fact, speaking of like, bad voice acting, I will say, there are a lot of people who don't like Max's voice, as far as the voices in this game go, and yeah, I can kind of agree with that. Max is like the one voice in this game that I do think is maybe a little bit not the best. Because yeah, I haven't really heard, I don't know if it actually is Aaron Hansen or not. He apparently has done voice acting for WayForward properties in the past, so there is precedent for it. Do I finish the anti-air, or do I... Yeah, if I finish that, it frees up the copters, but the problem is then, the copters really can't do much else this turn besides scout, because if I get rid of that, then they're, again, just... They can't really fly up into this area because there's a missile there. So in that case, I think I will actually go for this. Copters actually have alright vision in Fog of War, and we did see this back in the Fog tutorial, but it's always just so ironic destroying Grit's units with indirect. But yeah, we did see a little bit of this before, but yeah, speaking of indirects, there are indirects up here, and I have nowhere close to getting my power. But yeah, we did see that missiles, one of their few kind of advantages is that they have excellent vision in Fog of War. They have a vision of 5 spaces. They're kind of equipped with onboard radars. That's sort of how they work. So you don't really want to build a missile entirely as a scout. That's typically a bad idea. But in any case, they can do a decent job of it. Now, yeah, there's probably some kind of artillery or rocket covering that 8, although I don't actually remember if there is. So I think I'm actually going to try and scout down here. This will at least reveal 2 forest tiles. Nope, nothing in those ones. So in that case... Okay, yeah, there was no trap there. If there is a trap when you unload a unit, it will just not, like, the unit will stay in the transport, but you'll lose the transport's move. So, yeah, that was probably a bad move. I just really wanted to make sure that I scouted this entire area, just to see if there was something down here. There might be something in either of those woods. Sort of sucks to have to waste your copters as scouts, though. Oh, do I want to do this? Okay, there we go. I can only afford to lose 3 units to keep a perfect technique score on this map. And these guys' ranges are going to be too smaller. Which means actually only 1 of the artillery can hit the recon. But also I can use this artillery right here. This is going to be like a complete sacrifice, but if I do that, maybe it could shoot, like... Because, like, it's a max artillery, it's sadly pretty much expendable. If you're using Andy here, that's not the case. Just want to make sure my tanks are, yeah, reasonably far in. That infantry's going to take a while to get anywhere productive, but oh well. Speaking of taking a while to get anywhere productive... Oh, actually, speaking of which, I promised that I'd do this for a while. But yeah, Visual A, battle and capture animation. Battle animation only. I'm going to turn that on from now on, because we don't really need to see the capture animation at this point.
Oh, dear.
Well, hail. Yeah, that was Travis Willingham's Yeehaw Game Rant for this. I still can't believe Critical Role actually made that a thing. Okay, yeah, it still says the artillery has 1-star defense. So, yeah, maybe Max doesn't work the way that he did in the original. I seem to remember reading somewhere that in the original, Max had, like, the way that his thing was represented was that Max had 1 less terrain star for his indirects. Okay, so if I move this copter up here... Yeah, my controller is definitely acting up right now, so I've got to be a bit more cautious with what I do here. I think this is like... I'm not sure if this is like officially like leapfrogging infantry. I've heard about like the term of like leapfrogging when it comes to transports. But yeah, aha! I thought so. Okay then. Now again, there is a rocket and a missile up here. I don't think the missile has range to a copter all the way down here, unless Grit has his power, which he does not. He will probably be getting more chances at a power eventually. Okay, so I've got at least 2 more turns to this. But it will end up with a turn... Okay, yeah, I don't want to make that move, because if there's something in that forest, I get trapped. You want to be careful where your movement arrow goes in Fog of War. But there was nothing in there anyway. But it helps to be cautious. I pretty much certainly have the power score on this map, so I'm not really too worried. I am vaguely worried about him getting another... he's halfway to getting another snipe attack. Again, controller, please stop. And, okay, right. I'm gonna... Oh, wait, no. The missile is definitely in that forest. And if I put the copter down there, because I think there's a rocket in that, and if I put the copter down there, it is definitely getting shot by the missiles, so let's not do that. Okay, I can no longer see the missiles, but they're not really a threat to me as long as I avoid them. I think in Days of Ruin, cities actually block vision the same way that forests do. So that's something kind of interesting about the gameplay of, well, that game. I don't think this is in missile range either. And yeah, this copter is running, yeah, only has 1 ammo. That is an absolute hero battle copter. Like, those guys are getting commendations after this.
Huh?
Okay, so, right, the quotes do repeat, right then. Yeah, I had a feeling it wouldn't be, like, unique for every single, map, but we've pretty much won this. Again, there is probably, a rocket there. However, there won't be a rocket there much longer if I have, if I have anything to say about it. Oh, nope, there's no rocket there. Okay, then. Well, is there a rocket there? Yeah, this is, like, thankfully I'm not trying to route this map. And again, if you are trying to route this map, you have to keep your copters alive, because otherwise nothing can kill the units that are there. But, okay then. As long as there's nothing in here, yeah. Maybe on hard mode there are more rockets around the HQ, that's probably the case. And I didn't even need my power at all on this map. Kind of felt like I would. It would have been fun to get my power and then make like a massive push through the death run of yeah, like indirects that were set up. This map does have kind of a fun concept though, the fact that you've got this narrow I'm sorry, but you've already plenty embarrassed yourself and you've already lost, so no real reason to give your guys a pep talk. Whatever works for you. But yeah, as I was saying, like, I feel like a map like this would work quite well as a concept for like a Fire Emblem map, having to run through like a narrow pathway with ballistas and siege tomes everywhere. I don't remember if there's an actual Fire Emblem map like that.
Howdy there.
Thracia might have done that with one of its maps. It might have been the annoying Fog of War one where the Pegasus Knights swoop in from the fog and kidnap the villagers. That map is... I didn't unlock that map in my first playthrough of Thracia, and I'm very glad I didn't. Let's just say. And now I know! You're a traitor!
Oh,
Yep.
Uh-oh.
And that is basically why I use Max for this map, because he's got a beef with this guy.
chalk another one up for me.
Chalk another one up for brokenness. Yeah, I had a feeling that would be a perfect S rank. Yeah, like, that map was not really that bad for me. I'll need to look up what it's like on hard mode, because I'm guessing there's way more stuff. Like, if I was Grid, I'd probably put missiles near the HQ and maybe a second anti-air, maybe not charge the anti-air forward, but I guess the AI is not really smart enough to realize that a player would likely be approaching over the mountains with transport copters. It is sometimes interesting to think about when playing an actual, like, match, which units to hold back and defend places and which ones to charge forward with. But yeah, that mission is over, and I will see you all next time for... yeah, the next mission of the quote-unquote max route that isn't really the max route. It's actually somebody else's route, and we'll find out whose in a little bit. But the next mission, we're not going to be facing Grit, and it's also kind of a unique gimmick that never really appeared in any later Advance Wars games, so look forward to that one next time.